Hi everyone, I'm David Griffin.
And I'm Michael Medina.
Here to bring you this week's review of Arrow Season 2, Episode 14, Time of Death. Now this week's episode was interesting. I did think this episode maybe took a step back in terms of quality. It wasn't bad, but I was watching it, I was like, okay, like I think all the meat happened at the very end, and usually Arrow gives us a lot of stuff in between. But this was a very family-centric episode. It was a relationship episode. It was a love triangle episode. What do you think about this week's episode? Got to see Diggle do a little something.
He got to do a little bit more in this episode.
Something.
No, you know, initially I agree with you. In the beginning, I thought I was like, oh, is this going to kind of be like a villain of the week type of thing? It had that vibe, but I actually liked it a little bit more. I mean, I actually kind of liked that it was a little family-centric.
Yeah.
I liked that we got the drama between Laurel and her family and stuff, because we knew it was eventually going to happen at some point. We see like her dad trying to reconcile with his wife at dinner, and then Laurel and Sarah
making a chicken cacciatore does not work.
Does not work. Does not work. But no, I definitely like the whole family element to it, and then we get to see a little bit of like Oliver and his mom.
Yeah.
And you know, to see a little bit more. Although with the whole like her being mayor and running for mayor, I would have liked to have seen that angle play out a little bit more, because that's going to be big. It's going to play a huge role, you figure.
Because we know that Deathstroke, you know, Slade went over to talk to her about, because he knows that she's in the race and she's challenging, you know, again, who we also didn't see his brother Blood. You know, we didn't see him. A lot of, it's a good week. It's just a lot of people left out. I thought I was hoping, I know you were hoping too. You told me that you wanted to see more Roy.
Yeah.
Didn't get to see really, I mean, Roy showed up at the party, but we didn't get to see Roy
like
that
one
much.
scene.
Yeah.
Oh, I totally agree, because I mean, that last episode when he gets introduced to the group and stuff, it was an exciting episode. I really liked that episode. So I was like, all right, I figured maybe the following week we'd get that. We didn't. That's fine. But then I'm like, all right, at some point we got to start seeing him train and start, because that's exciting. But unfortunately, we didn't get that.
And I know a lot of us have, you know, Think Hero fans, Michael and I have both been complaining about Laurel not doing much. Perhaps this episode was meant for Laurel to get over the hump.
Kind of wrap that whole angle up.
I mean, she had the nice touching moment at the end with her sister, and, you know, so maybe now, and she goes to the AA meeting with her dad, so maybe now, you know, I don't know, hopefully
finally
she'll be
move
over the hump.
Past this. Give her something to do.
Right,
would be nice.
Just a little bit dull with her, I think.
Yeah.
You know, there's always some great, every week's always some good Easter eggs.
Yeah.
A lot of Cord Industries.
This guy right here made a little
Beetle action
Cord
going
Enterprises.
On Cord Enterprises,
Plus, like a little blink and you miss it moment on the bus when Oliver goes to stop that bus, you see a poster for Blue Devil on the side, which is kind of cool and stuff. So I love when they do stuff like that.
If you ever want to stop a bus from a moving train, or if you just go in front of the bus with your motorcycle and just kind of put your hand up, the guy's going to stop. He's going to stop. It's all going to work
That happens. That's how it works. But no, I enjoyed this episode.
Yeah.
Again, I would have liked to have seen a little bit more Roy. I like that they're starting to kind of wrap up the whole like Laurel thing. Deathstroke really kind of blew my mind. I was not expecting. You know, that's just kind of
happen more at the end.
Exactly,
yeah, right.
exactly.
She's like, I'm in the middle of a meeting right now. And I did not see that coming. That was cool. You know, let's talk about Felicity a little bit. I mean, you know, they had the whole Olicity, got it, CW. Originals, Vampire Diaries, Starcrossed.
You got to have a little
Rain. CW is going to have love triangles. If you watch a CW show, you cannot escape it. Maybe Supernatural doesn't have that as much. But anyway, I like seeing Felicity get her battle scar. She earned her stripes. It was nice to see
Absolutely.
Felicity.
And obviously, you know, whether or not Oliver and Felicity actually end up together, who knows? But obviously, it can't work out all perfect. There's got to be a few bumps, you know. But I don't know. Oliver's kind of being a little bit of an ass. I mean, he knows how Felicity feels about it, but he's over here kissing up on
his
Sarah.
Shirt on and show some class, man.
No, overall though, I really enjoyed this episode. I thought it was good writing for this episode. I liked the action. I thought the pacing worked well and stuff. Yeah, it was a little heavier on the family, but I don't know. I kind of like that change of pace.
I thought Diggle's keyboarding skills were excellent. He just comes back, it's like it's not working. It's not working. But we know that Diggle, I guess we should talk about some future things now, is that we saw the Suicide Squad pictures. We saw Diggle there. So Diggle is going to get to do something.
Play a bigger role.
Right now, he's not doing much of it.
No more of this, like, you know, his quota, like, I get to do one thing per episode and then I'm gone.
I got to hit the computer button over and over again to see what works.
Although I will say, speaking of Diggle, I did like that scene early in the episode when they're training with the staffs and stuff, and they're all comparing, like, battle scars and stuff. That was kind of fun.
It's like, oh, I'm so sorry I cut you. It's like, oh, I'm so sorry. So let's talk. We got a little bit a little origin story this week.
Yes.
The origin of sin. We see now what happened with Sarah and finding this pilot who was shot out of the sky and had a daughter that he was worried. He's like, please take care of her. So it looks like now we know where Sin's origin story. A little bit, anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. And she's kind of underused right now.
Right.
I'd like to see her a little bit more, too. But I understand a show like this, you know, with so many characters, it's kind of hard to throw everything at you at once. And you don't want to do that either and stuff. So hopefully we can, you know, kind of flesh her out a little bit more.
There's also looking at the lack of some characters that we haven't seen in a while. We haven't seen Summer Glau for
it's been ages.
A long time. Especially all these like long breaks. It feels like we haven't seen her in a year. Malcolm Merlin.
Yeah, got the little cool. It was a great scene.
It's a great scene. I mean, I mean, you know, Moira kind of scared him off for a little while, but for how long?
Exactly.
So we're still waiting on some characters to come back. There's still some newish characters introduced. Some of you do come. I've noticed on the comments. Your gripes about the show are that sometimes the show does too much.
Absolutely.
It introduces too many characters, it bounces around too much, doesn't stay focused on a certain story. I agree with you. I think they can get away with it a little bit more, though, because of it's a 22-episode season, so they can do that more. If it was like 10 or 13 episodes like Game of Thrones,
it'd be too confusing.
Or something like that, but they have a lot of time to work this out. I think it's all going to wrap up in the end, but you feel it when characters aren't around.
Absolutely.
When Summer Glau just mysteriously just disappears for like 2 months. Like, well, where is she? She runs the company with Oliver. Where is she?
And that's tricky to do. I think they do a better job at that than maybe some other shows.
Right.
But after a while, it does get kind of tough to juggle all these characters and stuff, which is, you know, it's a good and bad thing. Obviously, if you're like a comic book fan, you love like just opening up the universe and seeing everyone. But I mean, it does make sense to kind of like, you know, slow but steady.
Right. So this week, you know, another good episode, another solid episode. Again, I thought it was maybe a little bit of a step back. Not bad. It's not a bad episode. Just, you know, a lot of family drama, a lot of awkward dinner table situations, a lot of love triangles, you know, just maybe too much of that. But anyway, another great episode. Next week, you know, hopefully the show will come back. There's no more breaks. No more breaks.
I'm done with the breaks.
I can't do any more breaks.
I can't do it.
But as always, do come chat with us and find us, you know, all the information you want to know about Think Hero at thinkhero.com. We also have a Twitter page. We're going to come chat with Dennis, Michael, and myself, talk about everything Arrow and CW and love triangles that you want to do. We're at Think Hero. I'm at Griffin DE.
And I'm at Mr. Michael Alexis.
We also have a YouTube page. Want to check out this YouTube page right here. All of our videos, doing Walking Dead. Game of Thrones is coming up soon. Dennis and I have been doing True Detective every week. Check out our reviews at Think Hero Pro. And finally, you know, we have a Facebook page. It's facebook.com/ThinkHeroFans. Give us a like, thumbs up, subscribe to this page, spread the word about everything Think Hero and glorious in TV and film right now. And we'll see you soon.